We're outside again, and this time we're making another version of an iconic condiment called pepper choka. Just look at that. And you will see elements of a salsa, you'll see elements of a mother-in-law in here. And why that fly brave boy, that little bee brave, why he coming in people thing. But anyhow, pepper choka, stay tuned, you're gonna love this one. We need oil, and that's just a vegetable oil. Scotch bonnet peppers. I've got some garlic, and I want quite a bit of garlic in there. And I also want some red onion. And to make things a little bit easier, I'm just going to use my tongs to sort of flip them around. Be easier for me to pick up. I don't want my garlic to burn. And you notice we did start with a fair amount of oil. If you need to add some more oil, by all means add more oil. It's totally up to you. And again, if you want to just grill these on a regular barbecue, you can as well. I think I may have a version like that. But I did a pepper choka on the charcoal coal pot that I have. One of them traditional ways of grilling and cooking as we would normally do in the Caribbean, yeah? Just a tiny bit more oil in there, and that's just a vegetable oil that I'm using, something with a high smoke point. Place my little cover on there. And that steam action is going to help soften up the peppers more. And by roasting them and charring the skin, you're going to get that wicked depth of flavor from a good charred. And a pepper choka is supposed to have bits and fragments of that char that you're seeing there, yeah? So I'm just going to give them a good mix again and put the lid back on. And we're almost there. I'm just giving it another couple of minutes. So in total, about 15 to 20 minutes on the flat rock here. And ladies and gentlemen, when handling these peppers, you'll notice I wash them, I air dry them. Well, you wouldn't notice that, but I wash them, air dry them, and I remove the stems. But what I must impress on you all today, your hands, I'm a pepperologist. It doesn't burn me anymore. Just the oils from the skin of the peppers can irritate your skin. And of course, you don't want to touch anything. It will burn. All right, all I have to say. Mr. and Mr. Piggy, all I can burn it, all I get touched. But anyhow, wear gloves immediately after. Even if you wear gloves, may I stress, wash your hands with soap and water. Alright? Anyhow, time to take it off the grill, and I'm going to show you something interesting. Now, as I remove them off the grill here, griddle, I keep having to correct myself every time I use this flat rock. I kept, the heat is still on because I want it to continue charring. It will take me a couple of minutes just to remove them all, especially the garlic, which is a bit tiny. So keep the heat on while you're doing it. This bigger piece of onion, I'm just keeping it in the center there, yeah? This may be new for some of you, this device that you're seeing here. It's a food mill, and it's the original food processor. So we've got, and the reason why I'm using it today is because I can control the texture of it. I don't want this overly pureed. So I have the roasted ingredients there, the food mill, and the hand crank, and I'll show you in a second how we do it. All basically we're going to do is put everything into here. We're going to turn the handle, cranking the handle, and everything is going to be pureed over here. It's going to drop into the bowl. But the first batch I'm going to do, maybe a clove of garlic or something, I'm going to make sure I run it through to get the texture and to sort of clean out the inside of it. And this is where you adjust the sort of consistency or thickness of the grind as well as here. Yeah, so all I'm doing is stuffing the peppers, garlic, and onion down in here, and I'm going to press down as I turn and crank. It'll take about 10 minutes or so, and this is the sort of texture that I'm getting down there. Beautiful texture, by the way. And I'm just going to head over to the herb box over here to grab some of the shadow benny, also called culantro. Now, if you cannot source shadow benny or culantro, you can go with coriander or cilantro. I also want some of this parsley here as well. We're going to put some of this parsley to use. We're back inside now, and we're going to finish things up. It was getting really loud out there with the lawnmower and weed whacker and everything else. Such is the case when you're filming outside. Well, at least you guys know it's not an AI generated video. I'm not keeping it real. So it goes. Anyhow, what we have, lime juice, the parsley that we harvested in the back there, the shadow benny or culantro that we got from the herb box, some salt, and we've got the sort of mash or the grind of everything here. Now typically we would chunkate this, which means adding hot oil, tempering it with hot oil. But since I cooked I used quite a bit of oil when we were roasting or grilling off or charring off the peppers in the back there, so I'm not going to add any more. However, if you wanted to add some olive oil in here, which I may do depending on the sort of consistency that I get, I may add some olive oil, but we'll see as it goes. Salt, and it may look like a lot of salt, but trust me, you do need the salt in here. That is what's going to highlight all of the flavors and pull out all of the heat and the sweetness of the garlic and the sweetness of the onion and the char from roasting off or grilling off the peppers. In goes the parsley. And that is the sort of raw element I was talking about. And you know, earlier I alluded to the fact that this can be considered somewhere close to being a mother-in-law as well. But at this point, if you were making it the sort of mother-in-law twist, and mother-in-law is just a spicy condiment. If you head over to CaribbeanPot.com, you'll see what I'm talking about as mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. I don't know what else in-law they have, but anyhow, the raw element I would add in here is probably some diced cucumber, some diced apple, some diced mango, and keep it raw in here. If you wanted to add raw onion here as well, and a bit of raw garlic, because remember the roasted garlic will have a sweetness to it. If you're like me and you like the pungency of raw garlic, you can add some raw garlic in here. The shadow benny, remember, if you cannot source the shadow benny, you can use cilantro, or some people call it coriander. And the sort of, if you wanted to put some black pepper in here, you can. It's another flavor note that you can add. The final thing is a nice dose of freshly squeezed lime juice, and the acid, the citric acid in there is going to help to cure this and bring it all together. What you may find, and we've got to give this a stir to pull it all together, what you may find is that after a day or two of marinating, you can use this immediately, and it's a great side to any. Wait, what's going on with my I need some air, but I need oxygen. Anyhow, it would be a great side to any sort of curry dish. You know, people put it, you can put it as a side to pulori. You can top your sahina and your aloo pie as well as your doubles with it as well too. All we're going to do now is give that a stir. We want to, I think what I was trying to say is after a couple days, the salt level may dissipate a little bit, so you may need to add, and you can store this in the fridge for a couple weeks. It will last. Looking at the texture of it, I know I will need to add a bit of that olive oil that I spoke about earlier there. You know, it is smelling absolutely incredible. For some reason, the salt tends to need adjusting after a day or two. Yeah, but you can use this right away, if not store it in the fridge. And I would say when you're heating up your food, on hot food, you toss some of this on it. Yeah, there's quite a bit here, so I'm going to be enjoying this. I might even give away, who knows, because I know this thing here. Boy, this thing might be belly walk, but say what, I love fire, Dread. I really love fire. A bit of olive oil in there, just about 1/4 cup or so, and the final stir before I put it into my sterilized glass containers. Listen, I don't know how many of you are aware that I have a cookbook whose content is based solely on making pepper sauce and any sort of spicy condiment that we enjoy in the Caribbean, a cross between using ingredients from Canada and the Caribbean. It's called the Balanced Burn. Listen, if you don't already own a copy, this code here that you're seeing, yeah, this code that you're seeing on the screen here, head over to the website, click the link in the description down here, and you can get a discount on that cookbook. There's about 25 recipes in there, and I'm sure if you're a pepperaholic like me, you will enjoy the recipes, especially with you know, in about a month's time you'll be harvesting your peppers and stuff like that if you're based in North America. So no better way to put those peppers to use than with the Balanced Burn. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure having you all in the kitchen with me. A lovely charred pepper condiment, yeah, almost like a pepper choka, as I said, but you slight nuances and differences and stuff like that you'll see. Head over to CaribbeanPot.com. all right, the recipe is there.